So thanks for joining me, Ola. It's great to have you with us to talk about internationalisation at home today.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm really excited about this.
It'd be great if you could start by telling us a bit about the University of Bristol and your role there.
So I work for the University of Bristol as a Global Lounge Manager. I joined a couple of years ago, and my role here is actually to develop the project, develop the Global Lounge. And I'll tell you a little bit more about Global Lounge in a moment.
Perfect, thank you. So I wanted to start with the first question, which is really, why do you feel that internationalisation at home is so important?
Yes, so I think to answer this question, I would like to tell you a little bit more about my background first. So I grew up in a small town in Poland. During my childhood, although I was actually studying 3 foreign languages, I wasn't really interested or that aware of different cultures or religions. I was happy just following our homogeneous Polish Catholic and family traditions. So I loved all the activities and things we did to kind of celebrate different holidays like Christmases and Easters and also different folk traditions. But it wasn't really until a bit later until I started traveling to sort of scouts camps in Italy, language courses in different countries. I visited relatives in Australia, and following that I studied international relations in Poland and had Erasmus year abroad in Italy, and then studied abroad for a year in Scotland. But all these different experiences, of course, helped me to sort of learn about the world. But it wasn't really until I started working here in the UK in the higher education sector when I really realized how diverse the world is. And I want to say that we're so lucky here in the UK that we actually, on our doorstep, we are able to meet so many people from so many different countries. So I think, kind of going back to this question, why I feel the internationalization at home is important, I feel that it's only here the experiences that meeting people, just meeting students and staff from different countries, really helped me sort of learn about the world and also about different cultures. And I feel that this is why it's so important to have that first-hand learning from others. And I think that's why I feel that giving opportunities to students is so important, because we've got the possibility to do so.
Brilliant, thank you. And can you tell us more about the institutional approach to internationalisation at home at Bristol?
Yes, at Bristol, I feel that internationalization is actually one of the key priorities. In our recent strategy, one of the pillars is internationalization and global relations. And more than half of the actions are actually about internationalization here at home. So, for example, enhancing the opportunities available to UK students by internationalizing our curricula or expanding on-campus activities. Other things are, for example, having our university as a destination of choice for international scholars by offering support for them and for their families. Another point within the strategy is having the partnerships with students, student groups, and the diverse community in Bristol as well, to basically make sure that we enhance experience. And actually, last thing I want to mention within this strategy that it's really relevant is having the Global Lounge. So setting up a Global Lounge is part of the strategy. So we're currently working on the strategy refresh. And there's actually a difference, because internationalization is now no longer a vertical standalone pillar, but actually a horizontal cross-cutting theme. So that's exciting, because it just means that internationalization is really mature, and it actually the delivery of it is important for everyone. I guess it's probably a bit more difficult to measure, but then the responsibility is spread out as well. And I guess in terms of internationalization, what's also important institutionally is that we are investing in a new campus, Temple Quarter Enterprise Campus, which will be a part of the civic agenda. So we are actually having the new campus built in Bristol, in the centre. We're in such a diverse community. And I guess it will be important for 3 reasons. reasons. One would be because the courses that will be offered there will attract or should attract international students, so be a multicultural campus. Also part of the campus will be part of the community, and we will be going out there and hoping that the community also will add to the campus and feel that it's part of it. And I guess the last thing with the new campus is that if it's all successful and we are able to engage our community within the university, I think that will be something that will be really important.
Yeah, sounds very exciting indeed. And you've already mentioned a little bit about the Global Lounge and your responsibilities there. Maybe you can tell us what's distinctive about your activities and how students and staff benefit from your range of internationalisation at home.
Thank you. Yes, I guess the Global Lounge is not a new concept. It's been developed in different countries. I believe it started in Hong Kong, but I might be wrong. But there's one in University of Hong Kong. There is one in Singapore, the University of British Columbia. There are a couple in Finland. Also closer afield, Dublin, University College Dublin, and very close, Nottingham Trent University here in England. I guess the functions might be slightly different for different universities. For us, the two main functions are basically celebrating all cultures for all students and staff on campus. But because we're part of International Office, we also have a second function, which is supporting international students as they arrive on campus, and we help them with the transition. So I guess the secret to our success, I started working here 2 years ago, and originally the space, the actual physical space, was supposed to exist sooner. However, due to various delays, we are about to launch this September. The first couple of years I spent on scoping on what's already happening in the university here. And I think that's what's really important, to understand your institution. You know, you don't want to reinvent the wheel. You just want to make sure you complement what's happening. And through that, I attended a lot of events run by student union societies, different workshops, faith crawls, and different type of activities. So I guess working together closely with student union and also other departments, I think has been really key to understand what's needed, what can complement. I guess having the support of the senior management, having Global Lounge as part of the strategy of the university strategy on that institutional level is really important, because also that additional funding goes with that, and it is needed, of course, even for resourcing, for staffing, and obviously running all the events. I think what's really important is learning from other institutions, learning what others have done well and where they struggled, and kind of try to build on that. I think engaging faculties is also very, very important. Just making sure you've got buy-in from entire institution. So I guess that's what we've been trying to do. In terms of benefits for students, so we launched in October 2019 as a sort of virtual space first, and we ran 16 large events in a period of 4 months until the pandemic started. So I think that's quite a lot, and we've done different types of events. So that was really important to start. And in terms of events, they are all open to all, for all students and staff, and that's what we're really trying to do, to make sure to remove any barriers. And events are about learning and celebrating.
Thank you very much for sharing more about that. You mentioned some of the things you've worked through to build your success. Are there any other particular challenges you want to refer to that other people can learn from, perhaps?
I guess the delay, in a way, it has been a challenge, because how do you talk about a concept when it's not tangible and you call the lounge, and where is the lounge? But having that time really helped. So the challenge actually became a positive. Obviously, the pandemic has been difficult. Moving to virtual world has not been as good. We've run lots of events, but the engagement, it's not the same. So what has worked, actually, the events that run regularly. So Language Cafe is very successful, and we continue having a good number of students and staff attending. The biggest challenge, I guess, is getting the message across that Global Lounge is for everyone. It's for home, domestic and international students. And that's something I felt like when we started running events, we were doing quite well. We had quite good diverse groups, but due to the pandemic, I think our work has gone backwards. But hopefully once we have the space, we'll be able to work on our messaging and bring everyone back to the Global Lounge.
Brilliant. Thank you for sharing that with us. You started talking about the pandemic, so maybe we could move on to that question in terms of how you think that has helped you progress, develop, or adjust your internationalization at home.
I think that what's been helpful, it's obviously testing lots of different platforms, and I think there are definitely opportunities. Although at the moment everyone's got the so-called Zoom fatigue and everyone is tired of attending events online, I think now we've learned, we've tested lots of different platforms, and it's a huge opportunity for later once you don't have to do everything online. That offers huge opportunities for people from around the world to attend events. Also, we've learned that running events in the summer attracts students. They are really keen to learn more about the university before they start. So there are definitely lessons that we will take from it. It's definitely been challenging for everyone just moving to virtual world, but I guess that's also showed us that our team is quite versatile, flexible, and that's been positive.
Thank you. We hear a lot about mobility of students and staff, but how well do you think our national higher education strategy supports internationalisation at home?
I guess obviously, as the institution, we welcome a Turing scheme in absence of Erasmus. So it's really great that that's an opportunity there, and we'll definitely be engaging with it. It's a little shame that at the moment it only offers opportunities for outbound students and not inbound. And I guess that's something where I feel a lot more work could be done within university. This conversation has prompted me to look a little bit more of the government strategy, and I looked at the 2019 strategy that didn't really have much. And it's mostly about the education export. It mentions international student experience, but mainly students coming to study here and their experience here. However, the 2021 update that just recently has been published, there is an action there that mentions learning from what benefit having international students on campus brings to both home and international students. So I think that's definitely not in the right direction, and hopefully the internationalization at home will become more important on the national agenda. And I guess sustainability is going to be key, because in the current climate, it's really important that we do what we can to be more sustainable.
Absolutely. It's good to see that creeping into the national agenda, isn't it? As you say, in that second iteration of the UK's internationalisation strategy.
And I guess that was the project launch Office of Students and UKISA that will look into that. So that's really encouraging.
Yes, always good to see the work of UKISA looking out for the needs of international students. And it comes back down to the fact we have still a relatively small percentage of students who are able to access physical mobility overseas, which we know is a transformational experience, but we still have such a duty to provide that unlocking opportunity for home and international students to mix and share cultural insights on our campuses. I agree with you completely. You've told us a lot about what you've been doing already in the space of internationalisation at home. Could you tell us what your next steps might be? How are you hoping to develop things as you go forward?
I guess mainly from the Global Lounge's perspective, I feel we are about to have our physical space. So I think it will be huge development, and with all the learning, we'll definitely keep the elements that have worked. So we will keep events outside of the Global Lounge, but have this day-to-day space for students to come and find out about opportunities of studying abroad, or kind of what else they can do to internationalize their experience while they're here. And we're also looking how to be more sustainable, which I just mentioned. And what's important for the university is, I think a lot of thinking will be going into internationalization at home, also with that sustainability agenda, because it's actually our Pro-Vice Chancellor Global Engagement is responsible for both internationalization and sustainability. So I think it's kind of the thinking about it will be going, hand in hand. So I think this is going to be very important. And lastly, once we've settled in the Global Lounge, we're definitely venturing into Bristol. Such a diverse city. It's really fantastic, offers fantastic opportunities for students for volunteering and just engaging in so many ways. So I think this is where we'll be going.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing your insights with us today, Ola. It's great to hear what you're doing. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.